Okay guys, to test the water, there's a little kit in this blue container in the garage, and it's got directions, but I'll walk you through it, the test that I do. The first test that I do is the chlorine test right here. So you need water for the chlorine test that goes up. There's a little line right here. Fill it up to that line, and then you have this solution number 1 on there. And for this test, you would just take that and put in, you put in 5 drops. So you put in 5 drops of this into this tube. One, two, three, four, 5. And put the little cap back on. And then just see where it's at, you know, compare it to here. It looks like this one's probably at about 1.5. I like to keep it like at 1.5 or even 3, especially if you got a bunch of kids coming over, or, you know, kids swimming a lot. I would keep it on the higher end. I just to prevent algae or whatever. So that's probably right at about 1.5. Over here, they have a line up here for you to test the pH. The pH is just how much chlorine you have in here and how much alkalinity you have. So I don't test it, because if it's off, you got to test for the alkalinity anyway. So I don't test for the pH. I test for chlorine and then just test for alkalinity, because if you don't need anything with the alkalinity, then, you know, then you're good. The pH will be fine. So I just think it's kind of a wasted test, but you can do it if you want. I just never do it. So for the alkalinity, you fill up to this line here, and what they have you do is they have you swirl these drops in this tube. I find that to be, they don't swirl right. So what I do is I measure it in this tube, but then I will pour it into this cup. It's easier to measure. So pour it in this cup. On here, the directions are down here for the total alkalinity. And it says in there, if the chlorine is 1.5 or above, to add 1 drop of this number 4. So just add 1 drop of number 4 to 1. And then just swirl it. And then your next thing you want to do is to add 1 drop of this blue, this solution 5. So you add 1 drop of this and swirl it till it's blue. Now the next thing you do is this solution 3 here, and you just add 1 drop and swirl it in between each drop and count them to see what your alkalinity is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's what you're looking for till it changes. So it's at 6. So the alkalinity is low. The alkalinity needs to be between, you usually put between 8 and 10 drops for the alkalinity. So since it's low, when the alkalinity is low, you add more baking soda. So I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And usually the alkalinity gets low after a lot of rain. So we've had a lot of rain, so you had to add some. So it's 6, and we need to raise it 2 more. So I will show you how to add baking soda in just a second.
I'm going to take probably, I don't know, a third of this bag and put it in, then do the other third, then do the other third. So you can't really do it all at once, but.
So yeah, so you just pour it right in there, and to raise it up to, that bag is from Costco. It's a big bag, but if you go to like Meijer, they have bigger boxes than the little bitty small baking soda boxes. It would be the equivalent of like 2 of those. So Uncle Mike just puts it in there, and then
It's
there's
in there. You got to put about half full water,
and just kind of swirl it around.
Dissolve. It might take a few seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be completely dissolved, and then you just kind of,
A little bit.
yeah, throw it in. And it won't mess up the pool. It's not going to, yeah.
It's not going to hurt you if it gets on you. It's just baking soda.
Yeah, so, and it won't hurt the pool. If the kids want to swim right after you put it in, they can swim. It's just, yeah, it's not going to hurt. They might want to keep their eyes closed, but it's not going to hurt anything. So just, you know, do that with each third of the bucket, and that's all you do to increase the alkalinity. Okay, so that's all. And then once you raise the alkalinity, usually if the alkalinity is low, the water might be a little cloudy. Sometimes that happens after you have a pool party or just after a lot of rain, but it cleans the water right up. So, and the alkalinity doesn't really get low very often at all. It's you had to get a lot of rain in there for the alkalinity to get low, but once you get that alkalinity right, it stays that way for several weeks. So that's all there is to that. Also, on the testing of the alkalinity, you can retest after you put it in, but wait, I will wait till the next day to test it and see where it is. And if it's a little high, don't worry about it. It'll you know, it'll come down in a day or two. That's no big deal. If it's still low, just add maybe a cup, 2 cups more of baking soda. But yeah, just wait until the next day to test again. So at the beginning of each month of the summer, we put in this PhosFree stuff. In order for algae to grow, it has to have phosphates. So when you put this stuff in, it takes out all the phosphates, and we have never had algae since we have started using this. And this little measuring cup has little measurements along the side, and you just put in 16 ounces. You put 1 scoop down here in the shallow end, 1 16-ounce scoop in the shallow end, then 2 16-ounce scoops over into the deep end, and you just pour it right in the skimmer. Shake it real good. It settles on the bottom. So shake it real good. It kind of looks like, hold on, I'll pour it in here. Fill it up to the 16-ounce. It looks like milk. And then just pour it right in. And it'll clear it out. It might make the pool a little cloudy for a minute or two, but you know, it soaks in real good. The kids can swim after you put it in. They just might want to keep their eyes closed. But yeah, so just put 1 in the shallow end, and then put 2 16-ounce scoops down here. And I just do it at the first of every month. I usually do it right after I clean out the filter, because I'll clean the filter once a month during the summer, and do it right after you clean the filter, and then just pour this one right in here. And that's it for the PhosFree.